Hello everyone, and welcome to another Dawnsbubble video with a cool thumbnail but meaningless content. Today I'm going to do a what if video, which is kinda like a theory video, and we all love my past theory and prediction videos, right? Because I am always right. And today's topic will be, what if Raj and Wayne from the Total Drama reboot participated in the Ridonculous race instead? So here is how I am gonna do it. I will go through each episode of Ridonculous race and say how well they would do. So in this alternative universe, they will be known as the Hockey Bros. Also, I will make an adjustment of removing the Surfer Dudes from this universe, because I do think they clash with each other a lot in terms of personality, because if you look closer, they might as well just be the same team. In each episode, I will do a quick summary of what they would do in that particular episode, which challenge they would do, as well as how likely they are to be eliminated. I will follow the elimination order as the real season, so all non-elimination episodes are the same in this universe. So a quick look at how I would describe their strengths and weaknesses on the race. Most of them are based from what we know from the reboot, and some of them I made up myself. I think their strengths would be teamwork, good physical and stamina to keep up, social game, and being able to make connections with other teams, as well as we have seen luck. I feel like they will be a very lucky team. As for weaknesses, I think the mental components are not really there for them yet. I think they will be a team who won't really read their clue thoroughly and can easily miss small details and make some mistakes. They can also be easily distracted and can cause them to stir away from the race, and I do believe that they are also pretty gullible, which can lead to some teams as the ice dancers taking advantage of them. With all that said, let's begin. So in the first episode, Raj and Wayne will be introduced with everyone else. I have decided that they won't really have a lot of focus in this episode and just appear here and there. I think they would pick the scares to challenge, mainly because I think it fits them more with how careless they are. I can see them almost falling or doing something dangerous up in the tower. However, I do not see them struggling at it at all. I also feel like with them being in the elevator, they could have some interaction. For example, they would be one of the few who would believe that Leonard is a wizard, and in a weird way, they would probably think it would be cool to be in the same elevator as a farting Owen. I think they would clear the zipline with ease and end up on the second flight and end up around 8th to 11th place. And since this is a non-elimination, their chances of going are 0. This episode takes place in Morocco, and a small detail I want to add is that they are kinda gonna struggle in warm environments such as deserts and tropical places because of their unfamiliarity with the heat. But on the other side, they will have an advantage in colder places with snow and ice. So for the spice picking, I think this can go either or. They will just pick random spices and they will either get the best combo of spices or they will get the worst and the spiciest combination of spices. Because of the storytelling, we are gonna give them the spiciest combination. They make it to the botch or watch, and the one eating the stew is gonna be Raj. Now with the spicy spices combined with the heat, Raj is gonna really struggle eating this eat and they fall very far behind. I think Wayne can tell Raj to close his eyes and think of the ice on the hockey rink or something, which lets Raj finish the stew. And on the way to the chill zone, his stomach is also gonna struggle, so he needs to take a quick detour. I think their elimination chances are pretty high in this episode, but because we want to give them a chance and we like them, they are safe, but they arrive at a very bad place. Bye Leonard, #justice for Queen Tammy. In the next episode, they have a rough start starting pretty far behind, but it's okay since they are on the second flight and there are a few teams there, so they can make up some ground. Since Raj did the last botch or watch, Wayne is gonna do this one where he has to draw a caricature of Raj. Although I don't think Wayne is not the best drawer, I do think he is going to be able to bring Raj's personality through the drawing, so I think they could pass that challenge easily. Down in the catacombs, I think they might get a little bit scared and lost. This might be weird, but since they smelled Owen's fart in the elevator, they are familiar with it and can sense it when Owen takes a dookie down there. This leads to them teaming up with Noah and Owen on their way out. Owen and Noah would get 11th, but they got a penalty. Therefore, Raj and Wayne get it, and they are safe as well as made some new allies. In the fourth episode, they don't really have much focus. This is their episode with No Lines and More as background characters. They have a pretty average episode and do well in all the challenges. The only struggle I can see is maybe them being unlucky with the shark. But we all know that everyone survives in this cartoon. They are safe no matter what, because I don't think anyone could fall so far behind than the geniuses. So I'm gonna put them in the lower middle place. The next episode takes place in Iceland, where there will be a lot of ice. Nothing wrong will happen with our easily distracted hockey bros, right? They start on the second bus with some other teams, and I think they will struggle with the Icelandic phrase a little. I think their attention to detail is not the best, and they can easily mispronounce just like Dwayne. Also, if they have to go back and forth the whole time, we can get some fun geyser scenes, but I do think they are able to make it to the second helicopter thingy, so they are not last. They will obviously pick the challenge with the ice cave, and I think as soon as they enter it, they will be fascinated and distracted. They could be gone for hours, but they will wake up and notice that everyone is gone, so they are in focus mode again. I decided that they would be in the bottom two with the vegans because of the irony in this episode. The vegans being last because they ate meat, or the hockey bros getting last in an ice cave. In the end, I do think the vegans being last is better for the plot, as that leads heavily into the next episode. And this was a non-elimination, so it wouldn't really matter. But if it wasn't, there was a big chance the hockey bros could go home this eliminated. So far, Raj and Wayne haven't done very well, but maybe that will change now. Despite coming in second last the previous episode, they are fortunate that the first flight had to do a detour, so everyone on the second flight arrives in first place to Brazil. In this botch or watch, Wayne is gonna do it, and I honestly don't think he has any problem doing it, just some pain afterward. And they will also have an interaction with Kitty, who they become good friends with, which we will see later. Then at the Vine Cliff, they also succeed with no problem. Also for the coconut, I do think their luck is on their side in this episode, so they will find the travel tip with no problem. Then at the costume making, I will make an alteration with the sisters. Instead of having their alliance trial with the Adversity Twins, it's gonna be with the Hockey Bros, and they succeed to reach the Chill Zone together without crashing, and arrives at the Chill Zone in 8th place. This will also make Emma a little bit more open to the alliance. I did this only because I think the Hockey Bros personality fits very well with Kitty. In this universe, Raj and Wayne have also made friends with Noah and Owen, as we can see in the previous episode. So with the Hockey Bros having a relationship with both these teams, they can kind of become the middleman between the sisters and reality TV pros. With the great episode they had last time, they are able to make it to the first flight to Romania, and just like everyone else are scared of the castle, they decide to team up with the sisters again and find the coffins relatively easily. They succeed with the challenge, and are on their way to the gymnastics center. However, on their way, they struggle a little bit with the horses. A common theme they are going to have in this universe is that the Hockey Bros are unlucky with the animals. Raj is the one who has to do the botch or watch, and he is actually pretty good. They are also amazed by Chet's performance and has an interaction with the stepbrothers. They realize that they are pretty similar, just that the Hockey Bros are like the good version of the duos. They make their way to the Chill Zone together, and Raj and Wayne arrive in 5th place, their best performance so far. The episode begins with the Hockey Bros, stepbrothers, and mom and daughter in their donkey cart. They have fun with the stepbrothers. However, they are quite noisy, which upsets Taylor and makes her annoyed. On their way, Raj notices something on the ground, which is Josie's rabbit foot. He picks it up, and who knows what will happen. In Hawaii, the heat is supposed to slow them down a little, but for some reason, they feel good. Wayne is the one who is gonna do the botch or watch and finds the ring super fast. It's like they are lucky or something. Since the surfers does not exist here, the best friends are first place, which means there is a close race for second place between the Ice Dancers and the Hockey Bros, the two ice teams. Because of their recent luck boost and the Ice Dancers having their lava rock, the Hockey Bros make it to second place. Looks like they are just climbing and climbing. Maybe they can get a first place soon. In this episode, they are on the first flight to Dubai. On the flight, Kitty spills Noah and Emma's tea to the Hockey Bros and Owen, and they love it and want to help them become a couple. So now we have a trio in this Nema storyline. However, Hockey Bros are not that much involved in it. It's just so there are more dynamics between the sisters and TV pros. After they arrive in Dubai, they are not that heavily involved in this episode and kinda are in the background. Since they have Josie's rabbit food, they are kinda lucky here and there. So they are gonna do pretty well in this episode. So I will put them in the middle. I don't think they have any chance of getting eliminated, as mom and daughter were destined to get eliminated here. Episode 10 is another episode that the Hockey Bros doesn't have much presence, and mostly are in the background. They clear this leg with no real problem. The only obstacle might be the food, however. They enjoyed Chef's cooking, so I don't feel like there won't be any problems with the deep-fried animals. In the end, they make it somewhere in the middle. You probably think, what role does the Hockey Bro have in this universe? Well, I don't see them as main characters like the Ice Dancers and the Best Friends. I neither see them as underutilized characters such as the Rockers or Stepbrothers. I see them probably in the middle, kinda like the Goths or Father and Son. So that's why not that much is happening with them. In this episode, they start to make their way to Finland with every other team. In the sauna, they are really struggling since it is so hot, so they can't wait to leave. Once they are out, they fall into the snow and say it feels like home, so they stop and spend most of the episode in the snow. Perhaps maybe finding a frozen lake somewhere and playing some hockey, because ice hockey is very big in Finland, so it would make sense. But after a while, they get their head back into the race and head to the stage to complete the botch or watch. They are currently in the bottom 3 with the TV pros and the twins. It's Wayne who does the botch or watch, while the other struggles he succeeds as Wayne is fun, and everyone loves fun. Also, I do feel like he is someone who can easily win over a crowd. On their way to the chill zone, they meet with Kitty and Emma and they ask about the NEMA status. Kitty tells them that Owen and Noah will go home if they don't make it, which upsets them as Raj and Wayne are the #1 Emma and Noah shippers. So the Hockey Bros and Kitty pressure Emma to sabotage the twins, which she does. Raj and Wayne arrive in 10th place. They could be eliminated because they decided to get distracted before, but because of storytelling, I chose to keep them for now. However, there was a real chance they could go. Remember in the Hawaii episode, I said that Raj took Josie's rabbit from the ground? Well, I will now finally come back to that. The rabbit foot is supposed to bring luck to the Hockey brothers. Meanwhile, the ice dancer's current lava rock is supposed to bring unluckiness. I think this would be a good episode to showcase that storyline, since it is in this episode that the ice dancers go back to Hawaii to return the rock. So here is how I want the episode to play out. As the ice dancers are on their way to returning to Hawaii and having all their misfortunes, the camera flips to the Hockey Bros having a lucky moment. The two teams are basically opposite of each other in this episode. Therefore, since the ice dancers came in last, I think it would just be fair and make sense that the Hockey Bros finally got their well-deserved first place. Then at the end of the episode, after the ice dancers are at the chill zone crying over her rabbit foot, Raj takes it out of his pocket and asks if it's hers and gives it back to her. Josie accuses him of stealing, which shooks both of them, and now Raj thinks he is a bad person. This little bit perfectly connects to the next episode. Despite arriving in first place in the previous episode, they sadly don't get any advantage as all the teams are on the same bus and flight to Australia. As they arrive at the jail, Wayne tells Raj that maybe he deserves jail time because he quote-unquote stole Josie Rabbit's foot. So they spend the whole episode telling all the bad things they have done since they think they are criminals. But in reality, none of the things they mention are really bad, just silly. After almost all the teams have left the jail, they talk about how good friends they are and mention things they like about each other. They realize maybe they are not as bad as they thought and finally come to the conclusion that they are not bad people, indeed are good ones, and do not deserve jail, so they then succeed with their escape. I feel like they would do good with their raft, so they clear that with no problem. Since they spent a very long time in jail, I will give them a lower placement in 9th, because I still think the bottom 2 battle would be between the ice dancers and the police cadet. So you wonder why I decided to let them have a few interactions with the stepbrothers. Well, my original idea was that the Hockey Bros and the brothers would get eliminated in this episode, and then it could be a happy ending with all of them becoming friends. But after thinking for a while, I do want to keep the Hockey Bros a little longer, since there is one more storyline I want to finish with them. So they are going to survive this episode, but more in the background. They will struggle a little bit with collecting the rabbit, as their luck with animals hasn't been the best. So in the end, they get through this leg around the middle, so I will give them 6th place. So the storyline I wanted to finish with them was their part in the NEMA storyline. So the episode starts with the reality TV pros and sisters having their moment, then Emma goes for the kiss, but the Hockey Bros interrupted. They ask about the status, and Kitty updates them on the NEMA relationship. Raj and Wayne are excited and start to cheer on their boy Noah, which just makes the situation awkward. Emma is annoyed and leaves. On the train, Noah asks for tips from Raj, Wayne, and Owen give him tips, but they are super bad, such as having their first kiss in a pool of pudding filled with sharks, but hey, it worked. Noah doesn't care since he is in love. So throughout the episode, Noah uses these tips to get closer to Emma, and the rest of their relationship continues as it does in the real show. The Hockey Bros part in their storyline is now also done. As for them in the episode, they kind of fade into the background after the train segment. For the challenge, I think they would probably do the fish one, but to be more unique, they are gonna pick the dance one. You might think they would struggle with this one, but I can see them being impressed by it and maybe put some snow owl twist to it, which can sneak them through the challenge. So I'm gonna place them pretty high in 4th place. Again, since this is a non-elimination, they can't go home. Well, the video has almost reached its end, so you might know what this means. I think throughout the video, I have kind of showcased how the Hockey Bros would do on the race in a good light. Also, all their storylines are done at this point, so I think this will be a good episode to eliminate them. This means that the father and son survive, and who knows, maybe they will be the season's winner instead. So here's what I think they would do. At the beans, they chew that up with no problems, then starts to fart at each other. As showcased in the farting episode in the reboot, they can have fun with their fart. That's a very odd sentence. Then at the bull challenge, I can see Raj having so much fun. Wayne gets jealous, so both of them ride the bull, which just wastes time. I can see them passing the challenge, but just choose to ignore that they have completed it because they just have so much fun. And in the end, it just happens that they are the last team to arrive. I think this actually is a nice elimination for them, as they had so much fun in this episode, so they had fun while getting eliminated, so it's more wholesome than sad. Also, them being eliminated in Canada makes perfect sense. In the end, they had a rough start, but it ended pretty well. Hey, they made it pretty far right. At least I didn't give them the first boots, which was totally possible. So those were my thoughts on if both Raj and Wayne were on the Ridonculous race together. Do you agree or not? Now, I did eliminate them a little bit earlier than many have thought since the surfers won. It would make sense if the hockey bros could win as well. But it would be boring if I made the hockey bros just a copy-paste of the surfer. So that's why I decided to do this little alternative universe. I'm more interested in your thoughts and ideas, so comment them down below and I will probably read them all and respond. And you might get a heart on your comment. So finally, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more total drama content with clickbait thumbnails. So, as for now, bye, and see you again soon in a new video.